Sometimes the loudest feelings are the ones never spoken. And if you've ever felt like a woman says nothing but somehow still feels deeply connected to you, you're not imagining it. Because attraction and emotional attachment often happen beneath the surface, hidden behind silence, subtle behavior, and unspoken thoughts. And in this video, we're diving deep into the psychology behind why she may not say a word, yet her mind is constantly thinking about you, replaying conversations, analyzing moments, and feeling emotions she doesn't fully express. Because when a woman is truly affected by someone, it doesn't always show in obvious ways. It shows in patterns, in attention, and in the quiet ways she stays mentally connected to you. One of the biggest reasons she may stay silent while thinking about you is emotional caution, because when feelings start to grow, especially unexpectedly, they can feel overwhelming. And instead of expressing them openly, she may choose to observe, to think, and to process internally, protecting herself from vulnerability while still being deeply engaged in the connection. And this is where many men get confused, because they assume silence means disinterest, when in reality, it can mean she's thinking more than she's saying. Another powerful psychological factor is that women often experience attraction through emotional reflection, which means she may replay your conversations in her mind. Think about the way you spoke, the way you made her feel, and the small details you shared, because those moments create emotional imprints. And when those imprints are strong, they stay in her mind long after the interaction ends. You may notice signs of this even if she doesn't speak much about it, like she remembers things you said casually, she brings up past conversations, or she reacts in ways that show she's been thinking about you more than you realized, because when someone occupies mental space, it naturally shows in subtle behavior. Another reason her mind may be full of you is emotional curiosity, because when a woman feels something she can't fully explain, she becomes curious about it, about you, about where it could go, and that curiosity keeps her mentally engaged even when she's not actively expressing it. And this is often why she may check your social media, notice your activity, or find small ways to stay connected without making it obvious, because her interest is there, just not fully revealed. There's also the factor of emotional restraint, where she intentionally holds back her feelings because she doesn't want to appear too eager, too vulnerable, or too invested too soon, especially if she's unsure about your intentions, and this creates a situation where her mind is active, full of thoughts about you, while her outward behavior remains controlled and minimal, creating that contrast between what she feels and what she shows. Another key sign that she's thinking about you even when she says nothing is inconsistency in attention, where she may go quiet for a while and then suddenly reappear, engage more, or show interest again. And this often happens because she's been processing her thoughts and emotions during that time. And when the feeling becomes strong enough, she reconnects, even if she doesn't fully explain why. You might also notice subtle emotional reactions, like she becomes slightly more attentive when you're around, more responsive to your mood, or more engaged in conversations that involve you, because even if she's not expressing her thoughts verbally, her emotional state is still influenced by your presence. From a psychological perspective, when someone's mind is full of another person, it often leads to mental associations where everyday things start reminding her of you. Certain songs, places, or conversations trigger thoughts about you, and this keeps the connection alive in her mind even when you're not physically present, strengthening the emotional bond without direct communication. It's also important to understand that silence can sometimes be a form of testing, where she observes how you behave without constant interaction, seeing if you remain confident, consistent, and emotionally stable. Because before fully investing, she wants to feel that the connection is safe and not driven by pressure or neediness. And this is where your response matters, because reacting with impatience or over-pursuit can push her further into silence, while calm confidence can make her feel more comfortable opening up over time. Another layer to this is that when a woman is thinking about you deeply, she may start imagining scenarios, conversations, or future possibilities, even if she never shares them, because the mind naturally explores what it's emotionally attached to, and this imagination can strengthen her feelings even further, making the connection feel more real internally than it appears externally. So, if you're in a situation where she says very little, but you feel like something is there, Pay attention to patterns rather than words, because her actions, her attention, and her consistency will reveal more than direct statements ever could. And the key is not to force her to express what she's not ready to say, but to create an environment where she feels safe, understood, and comfortable enough to eventually open up. In the end, when a woman says nothing but her mind is full of you, it means the connection exists in a deeper, quieter space, one that is built on emotional impact rather than constant communication. And understanding this can help you respond with patience, confidence, and awareness, allowing the connection to grow naturally instead of trying to rush it, because sometimes the strongest feelings are the ones that take time to be spoken. But once they come from a place that is real, genuine, and deeply rooted in emotional connection. And that's what makes them so powerful and lasting. So instead of focusing only on what she says, start paying attention to what she shows, because in many cases, her silence is not empty at all. It's full of thoughts about you that she's still learning how to understand and express.